Greetings, everyone. This is Dr. Richardson and Dr. Riley, and we're here to talk about the 2024 Global Awards nomination process and the gala that will be on September 8th. Forbes Riley will be one of the amazing judges for this. And what sparked your interest in being a part of this royal gala?
Well, number one, it's going to culminate in your birthday, and I love celebrating you and your birthday. 2, I love going to Arizona. 3, I often talk about how awards are a piece of your entrepreneur asset kit, and that you must apply for awards, and there's always a fee to apply for awards. Make no mistake, it's not a free thing, which is always a little confusing to me. But when you find out that the Hollywood Walk of Fame, once those guys are nominated, they have to pay $35,000 or more now to pay for the star. So that's an important investment. But when it comes to your bio for press releases and when people read your accolades, they go, oh my God, winner of the Entrepreneur of the Year or Inspiration of the Year. This is one of those great awards ceremonies. Crystal does it up right. There are a lot of different categories to apply for. It even has a youth category. And for all my people who are currently studying speaker training and getting awards and upping their entrepreneurial game, this is a great, icing on the cake. I don't know if you guys all realize, recently the President of the United States issued me a Lifetime Achievement Award. I very proudly hold that up as one of the many accolades and attributes to all the hard work that I did when nobody was watching. So I'm going to give you that link. I would love my friends and family to apply or to come to the event. I will be there, Crystal will be there, and there'll be hundreds of other amazing people that you should connect and network with.
There really will be, and there's a number of stages that you'll be able to speak on during the Emerge Media experience, and that is going to be the 5th and 6th of September, and those other things going on the 7th. But that Royal Gala, having where you can stand on the stage in this Royal Palace area, is going to be amazing. So that is really great footage that you can use in a lot of different things that you're doing, and as well as the award. So can't wait to have you there. And thanks, Forbes, for being one of our judges.
You are most welcome. I love you, and I can't wait to see you guys on stage with me. So to everybody, check out the link, and let's get going.
Awesome. Thanks. Well, hello, everyone. This is Dr. Crystal Richardson. Very extremely happy to see you and be with you today. We have people popping in and out of the backstage, and hopefully, some of you all that were on earlier will continue to hang on in there. I had one person told me that they have been on all day, so they just keep switching each time we have a link. And so, anyway, there's also the hashtag replay. This is on YouTube as well as in our Facebook group for Women of Impact and Innovation International. So I am very excited that we are on the home stretch, but we have a number of people that I still have to send the link to. I've been mentioning earlier the fashion designer from Denmark that I met. She messaged me and said that she was going to be free, so we'll see if we can get her on. There's also the owner of Hidden Hills Coffee that's just been going all over here at these pre-Oscar events that I'm doing, and she's having everyone do taste tests. She also does tea. So I was able to taste both of those, and they are some of the most smooth. The tea seems like to be, it's smooth tea as well, but the coffee is so smooth and fresh because of how she does the manufacturing process. We were talking about it being manufactured in FDA regulated facilities and a number of other things. And I haven't tasted any coffee lately, maybe, or if all, or at all, that is as smooth as this particular blend that she has. So she'll be on with us a little bit later. So without further ado, we have several people that are backstage. Somebody's saying that they love coffee. Don't know who you are. You can leave your name, but yeah, I used to love coffee, but it doesn't set well with my stomach. And so, but I did drink a half a cup because I was doing media and I wanted to taste it so I would be able to adequately explain about it when I was on the microphone. So it's great. Oh, hey, Misty, good to see you. I've been playing your commercial for the last several days here. Not several days, for the last several hours since 5 a.m. this morning. So great to have you as part of Women of Impact and Innovation International. All right, ladies, I hope you are all ready. We are going to bring everyone on the stage. We're going to have a good discussion. Sally's here, Pat's here, Dame Precious is here, and I'm going to say ready, set, go, and I'm going to start hitting some buttons and bringing everybody to the stage. So here we go. Now we are introducing Miss Sally, and we are introducing Miss Pat, and we are introducing Miss Dame Precious. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
I really, really want to just commend everyone. I don't know, maybe we might have had one person out of the almost 50 that was on the wrong link, but everybody for the every 2 hours has been on the right link. Nobody tried to share a link with somebody else. Like, what's the link? What's the link? Because everyone's link is kind of different because of it being every 2 hours. So you guys have done a great job. Great job. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Thank you for organizing this.
Yes.
Definitely. And happy International Women's Day to everyone. Yeah, we're truly international here. We'll start with potentially, I'm not quite sure, but we'll start with our most international person. I'm thinking, I'm not sure, but Dame Precious. Well, first you introduce yourself.
Yeah, as international as they come. Born and raised in Uganda, and I am blessed to be in the US and call it home for the last almost 25 years. So I live here in the US now, but I go back and forth almost like 3 to 5 times in a year to Uganda to do medical missions for the nonprofit we have there. So blessed to be here, and thank you for having me.
It's been a while since I've seen you. Really great to see you. I need to see you in person. You should be here right now with us.
Right?
For the Oscar stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll get together at some point. Great to see you again. And now we have Sally.
Hey, I'm in Connecticut. I'm the Vice President of Author Development at Action Takers Publishing. I work directly with Linda Sunshine West, and we do collaboration books mostly. That's kind of our specialty, where everyone writes a chapter, and I just work directly with the authors of the books to get their stories out of them and onto the paper. So I just love doing that.
Yeah. And Sally, she yelled at me this morning.
Linda did or I did?
Linda did. Because she was on. I was like, yeah, and we're both here doing the Oscars, right? And so she's like, wait, did you just say you're in a house with 3 women and 1 man? And why am I not in the house with you? You didn't even invite me, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, I'm going to hit exit, where's the exit button? So I just take you off the screen. I'm like, okay, maybe next time. And then we have Miss Pat.
Hi, I'm Pat Gillum. I am in Phoenix, Arizona, and I am the CEO and founder of Sisterhood Extravaganza. It is a nonprofit organization that supports the growth and development of women and girls through our advocacy and education, through our programs. So we have 6 different programs that we offer to women and girls, and one of them is a Speakers Academy, a Writers Academy, a youth mentoring program, a personal development program called Better Me. And so we're just really excited about the work that we're doing around really supporting women and girls. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here, and thank all of you. And so we're just going to hop right into these questions. I've been changing it up a little bit, excuse me, with the pre-questions that I sent out. But we'll start easy. We'll start easy on you all, okay? So what inspires you? We'll start with Sally, and then Miss Pat, and then with Precious. What inspires you to do what you do every day? What inspires you to just wake up and give everything your best, Sally?
I think it's my faith, really. I've been a Christian leader in my church for a number of years, and I've always had this desire to teach, to work with other people, and so I have that burning desire to help people to get their stories out, but our purpose changes as we go through life. Earlier I had a whole program that I did with teens, and so that was my getting up and working and doing that. And then when my daughter was small, I did other things. So I think as life happens, our purpose changes, and we move through what we're doing, and our desire changes, the things that inspire us and change. So it's always been my faith. It's been that string that's been the thing that's got me through everything. But right now it's really helping women, and especially women, to get their stories out there and to have that healing effect that happens when you write your story and share your testimony type thing.
Yeah. And that sounds like a movie or a book too. The Healing Effect. I love that. The Healing Effect. That's so good. Okay. And then we have Pat. What just inspires you to just get up and just give your all every day?
Wow. You know what? I want to piggyback off of what Sally mentioned, because that's truly where my whole motivation and inspiration comes from, is just being spiritually in tune to what God is calling me to do in this season of my life. And it really is to show up bigger for women and let them know that there is nothing that they cannot accomplish. There's nothing that they cannot achieve. There is no glass ceiling, and that I have to be the catalyst for women to really make sure that they understand that we need each other, and that we can do more together than we can apart. So my whole desire, purpose, and mission every day is to wake up and say, who do I need to serve today that needs just to know that little piece of encouragement that they can do it, that they don't stop, don't give up. I always tell people, don't give up on the goal, just change the strategy.
Right. That's really good. And so how long have you been doing Sisterhood Extravaganza?
Whoop, whoop. This is our 8th year, you guys. I'm so excited. This is 8 years. We are coming up on our 8th annual Empowering Women Success Summit in Irvine, California. I'm thrilled. I really am. It's been a labor of love, and I thank God for every moment of it. All the ups, all the downs, all of it.
I wasn't quite ready for that. I'm like, so how many years? Woo, woo. I'm like, okay. With that answer, that does deserve a woo woo, because that's amazing. Because I was already on to my next question, because I was like, how many years have people been telling me that I need to get in touch with you, that we needed to connect, and we haven't connected? So that was the impetus for the question, because people have been saying, you need to meet Pat, you need to. I'm like, okay, I need to meet Pat. But we had, our paths hadn't crossed till just now at the WOIII event. Not that we couldn't have made it happen differently, but yeah, it's been a minute. So congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Now that you scared me half to death with the woo woo. No.
Thank you. So you already need to know everything is divine timing. So this was our time right now. So thank you.
Right. Exactly. And then we have Dame Precious.
Yeah. Hello. That's a beautiful question. What inspires me is the life that I've been given to live. Remembering that God created me as a fulfillment of joy for Him. And when He looked at me, He said, okay, I have created this. And then He endowed me. So the life I've been blessed to live, the good, the not so good, the not so good, has been inspiration for me, because even the things that I've gone through have actually been an inspiration. Like they say, when you go through life, they become lessons, right? But knowing at the back of my mind that this is a life that He's given me, and no matter what I go through, He is always there with me. So knowing that, and knowing that there's when remember Mary, when Mary was called to be the mother of Jesus, I know that scripture doesn't say Mary will be the mother of Jesus. It says a virgin will give birth. So she had to get herself together and become that person, so that when scripture says they looked for somebody and they looked for her and found her, it says, you have been found and highly favored. So living that life, no matter what I've gone through, I was raised by a single mom, gone through a lot of heartache and poverty and everything, being able to live that life and then turn it around. I always have a prayer that when something happens to me, I say, Lord, don't let this pain go to waste. Use it for your glory. So that has been a motivation for me. So that life He's given me to live has been an inspiration, knowing that He is actually ahead of me before I go there. No matter what happens, it will always turn out for good. So it has helped me even with the nonprofit that we have in Uganda. When we talk on the kids, it's called Precious Kids Foundation, and we take in kids that have cancer, provide them chemotherapy. Well, the life I had was my brother died from a premature death, a childhood disease at 2 years old. My dad died, my auntie died, and all that. So now I'm like, well, let's do something about it. Now that I am also in finance and economic empowerment for women, especially, well, I've been there. I've had my own poverty life. And then I've also lived a life where I've been able to get finances and economic empowerment for myself so that I can help other people. So that life that I've lived, the God that has helped me live that life, it inspires me to be able to inspire others.
That's awesome. And so I think, I'm not sure if that was the first time I met you when we were at John Chin's event in Scottsdale. I don't know if that was, we were on the stage together. We both got picked to go up because of our VIP status to give our story. So was that the first time?
Yes, I think so. Yes, that was it.
Okay. And so, yeah. And then we both got knighted. No, you got knighted after I did, I think.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah.
So
it's just beautiful just to see people grow and expand and all of what you do with I have to get to Uganda. Like I said that last year.
I am here anytime. Actually, we're going in May. So we'll take you anytime you're ready. Yeah, because the teams we take, they provide medical care. So we do medical missions in different locations. And then we also do empowerment sessions, because once we go in with different experts and they come and teach. After we treat them, we educate them, and then we empower the women for economic self-sustainability. So we're going to go in May. We're taking another team in May. And we treat thousands and thousands in this camp. So anytime you're ready, we'll be glad to have you.
We'll probably have to check on 2025 and then see what we can do, maybe to get some things set up at the end of 2024 related to the entomology teaching that I do. So that's the work that I have trademarked related to the manifestation of creative thought in motion. So it is where there's several universities in Kenya as well as the UK that are utilizing my methodologies, and we're starting the teaching because the MOUs have been signed. So I would love to I talked about before related to also setting up something in some of the schools or your program in Uganda as well.
Mm. Got it. Got it.
So
Thank you.
we can maybe talk about that. But so let's see who we have here. Sally, you're back on the seat here. So, oh, that's such a sweet smile. Okay, so with all of the women that you work with, like there's men that write books too, but you know, working with women, what is one of the main things that you see that women need to just let go of so that they can do a better job of telling their story?
That's a good question. I think for a lot of women, it's stepping outside of that comfort zone and really getting to the core of their story in order to share it. I think a lot of them are afraid of what people are going to say. You know, what if I write this story? What is my, what's my parents going to say, or what are my siblings going to think of me, or, and so, you know, just getting them to share their story, to face those fears, to not worry about judgment, and to, to just being able to get that story out of you is even if they don't publish it, and I tell them that, write your story down, and you don't have to publish all of it. We can go through and cut the parts out that you don't want to share, but a lot of times just getting the words outside of you and getting them on paper is has that healing effect on you. And so I encourage them to just sit down and brainstorm and write and get it out of them, and then pick and choose the words and the stories that they want to share with the world. Because the thing is, your story is, there's someone else going through what you went through. There's always someone else that you can pull along in this journey, someone that you can help through. And so by reading your story, someone is going to read that and say, hey, you know what, if she did it, I can do it too. So it's having that impact on someone else, that that I think women especially today need that little push. So encouraging women to share their stories to make an impact on other women is just key in getting their stories out there. So it's facing those fears. It's stepping outside your comfort zone, doing something that scares you. When the first time I was part of a book, I was totally scared. And in fact, the title of my chapter was "Do It Afraid," and it was all about stepping out in fear and doing things that scare you, to get ahead and to make these connections and stuff. So
that's good. That's really good. And so it's Precious, the same question related to all the women that you work with, whether if you want to focus on women here, if you want to focus on women in Uganda, that's your choice. But what is something that you feel that women just need to let go of so that they can live their best life?
Let go of doing. Because as women, we are natural creatures of saying, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. But having the ability to be is what will amplify your creativity, what will amplify what is it that you actually are doing right now, but it starts from what you're going to be. I realize that sometimes there are obligations that women would have to have in order to make things. You're going to have to make a home, you're going to have to make babies, make a job, make this, make like all those things of doing. Sometimes the ability to say, how about I just be? How about I just be and let go of doing? And what does that mean? Find out who you are. Find out what is it that is in that, we call it that the sense inside of you. I call it the Holy Spirit in you. The Holy Spirit in you will always say to you and give to you that ability to say, this is what you have been created to do in this entire universe. And how is it that you're actually going to show up? So your ability to do that is going to help you stop just do and become. become that person, once you become that person that you've been created, whether it is in innovation, like Dr. Crystal here, whether it's in medical field, my background in medical field, my background in philanthropy, my background in finance, all those things happen effectively. In order to be effective, all those things happen effectively once you become, so then you can later on do. So that is a message I would pass on to whether anybody in the US or in Uganda or even across the world, is just to find out, how can you just be? How can you just be and tap into the creativity that the Holy Spirit has inside of you? Because you know how they say women have intuition? I don't even look at it as intuition. I call it the Spirit of God from inside of you, because the soul will speak to you from inside.
Right.
Once you hear that speech inside of you, then it pushes you to start doing, right? But how do you hear that is when you become still, when you become quiet, when you become silent. And once you become, then you connect to your creator. You create, you connect to your purpose, you connect to that which you're passionate about. I know very well, Dr. Crystal, you're passionate about the innovation work, but you had to pick it up from inside of you. And then you became that change that you want to see in the world right now. And you're like, well, let's go to the women in Africa. Let's go to the women in Arizona. Let's go to the women everywhere. But where did it all start from? It started from you becoming inside
Mhm.
of you, you be. And once you be, then you end up doing. So, what I would encourage in a nutshell is to not do, but become first. Because once you become first, then you have that crystal clear ability to move forward with crisp, clear focus, and nothing else will waver you around. Definitely, that's what I would tell. Yeah.
That would be really good. Really
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Then now to the stage, we have Pat. And so I was asking about what women need to get rid of, but I'm going to switch it up with you for a little bit related to the 14-year-old self question that we've talked about. And so what would you tell your 14-year-old self to let go as opposed to you letting go right now?
Wow, my 14-year-old self was amazing, just so you know. So I'm trying to think, what would I have told my 14-year-old self as opposed to what I would tell myself today? Probably would be those same things. I really would probably say this is that I think what happens is, especially when you think about teenagers, as I mentor young girls, right? We are so built in this society to want to fit in. We want to go to the party with my friends. We want to be in the in crowd. What I will tell a 14-year-old, what I would tell a woman today would be that same advice, Dr. Crystal, is that listen, there is no one like you. If you're trying to be like everybody else, then God didn't need you. He really created you to do something different. And to really be outstanding, you're going to have to be willing to stand out. You're going to have to be willing to be different. You have to be courageous to do those things. Because no, you're not going to get invited to all the parties. And you need to be okay with that, because you got purpose and you're getting ready to do something great. I'm telling you, the minute you stop trying to fit in, the minute you stop playing small, the minute that you truly stop dimming your light, literally you're going to be fulfilling amazing purpose. And you'll go further than you've ever gone before. And you're good. I always tell people, I don't know the difference between happy and joy and fulfillment, because it's all a circle for me. And that's what I would tell, I think, a 14-year-old, my 14-year-old self, 14-year-old girls I mentor, or a woman today, to really be able to be in a place where I've committed to being an epic 2024, is to really stop living life on other people's terms. You have to be willing to say, I'm going to use my courage and I'm going to step out and I'm going to be the thing, just like Dane Precious just talked about, be the thing that I'm called to be, and stop trying to fit in and do what everybody else is doing and be what everybody else is being.
Yeah, and I have that at the bottom of my signature on my email. There's a couple of different quotes that I wrote, and one is
Get you some water. Are you okay? So I'm just so grateful to you for really putting this platform together, because I am so clear about showing up, Dr. Crystal, and so many women need this platform. So thank you so much for providing this platform and giving women. I think girls are going to be watching this around the world too. I'm so proud of you and what you're doing.
thank you.
You okay?
A carrot is supposed to be good for you.
It is. It is.
And I just choked on a carrot.
Oh no. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You look okay. You look amazing. See, that was God, right? God was like, girl, you got work to do. Get it together. Come on, you got
I went off the screen to eat some of this carrot and it tried to kill me.
So see, that was like, no more eating. Okay, no more eating on this call, because I want you to be here, okay? I need to connect with you after this.
Oh my gosh. Woo.
Are you good? No.
So what were we talking about?
No, are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. We were talking about what you would tell your 14-year-old self, okay?
I know that was the question, but
and then you said, "Oh, I have a couple quotes on your email signature."
yeah,
Yeah,
I have a couple quotes, and my one quote is, "Don't try to talk after you eat some carrot." Okay.
Yeah, word to the wise today. Look, put that in the chat. Don't be eating and trying to talk at the same time.
I had already swallowed it, and I guess there was some still there, but anyway,
some residue in there.
We digress. So what I was going to say was, at the bottom of my signature on my email is to stop living someone else's version of your life. A lot of us, the whole people pleasing thing that a lot of people do is something that a number of women have talked about. And it is really, really, really hard for some people to not try to people please. And so I was just going to say, so as we continue to move into 2024, it really becomes, I think, imperative for us to help one another as sisters if we see that that's something that someone is doing, and we can see it in ourselves, but also in other people, that there's a lot of things where it's easy to spot certain behaviors if you are aware. Yes. And so that's just something that I just wanted to bring up. It's stop trying to live someone else's version of your life.
Right. And the reality is too, Dr. Crystal, if you think about it, that those are things that we've been taught. Those are societal norms that we have taken on, right? And so it's going to be a little bit more challenging to have women really be aware first that is happening, because it's so normal to who we are, and to be willing to break those habits. That's the key. It's like, I have to be aware that I have this problem first, because I just think it's normal. Like I
don't see it as a problem.
To try to please people so that they'll like me. Nobody wants to be not liked, right? But then we have to be in a position to not compromise who we are in order to be liked. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So there's a lot of just really, really great lessons that have come up all throughout the day today. And I really appreciate that part of our conversation. So I'm going to put everybody back up on the stage, and I'll try not to choke and kill over.
Right. No more eating off camera.
A carrot is supposed to be good for you. It's not supposed to kill you. And so, yeah. So there were some survey results. I don't know if you all took the surveys, but here on Survey Monkey, let me just hit refresh. And we were talking about, one is called New Mind, New Me. And Okay, so we do have some of the results here. So the first one I wanted to ask you all about, because of how the percentages are laid out, is do you feel like you want things to be different in your life? And the way the results look right now, yes, 100% different. So there's like 15% of the people want to change everything related to their life. Says yes, want to change about 50% of the things, is about 40%. And then yes, I am doing pretty well and would like to change about 25%. And then the one that is the statistic I want to talk about is I feel like I am pretty much on the right path. So there's only 15% of the people that answered this feel like they are on the right path. And when I looked at that, that was pretty interesting, because the rest of the results, are you living with focus? Are you living, with intention? Do you feel like you're a go-getter? Are you tenacious? And so some of those had those kinds of answers, but that one said that only like 15% of the people feel like they're on the right path. So does anybody have any comments on that? Why you think that would be?
I think if you look at your life, there's just so many different areas that you can look at. So you might be doing well in 4 or 5 areas, but I think there's always one part of your life where you feel, oh yeah, I wish that was better. It might be financial, it might be your career, it might be, your emotion, or your mental capacity, or your spirituality, where I think when you're doing well in one area, it seems like you kind of lose it in other areas. So to be 100% in every area of your life, I think is kind of rare. That's just my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all trying to juggle, and we all get overwhelmed, and we all feel, all right. Especially as women, I think we try to do everything for everybody else, right? And then we wind up putting ourselves last. So I think there's always that mindset that, oh yeah, I can do better in this area if I maybe just apply myself a little bit more.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that statistic?
Yeah, I found out that, my background for the last 20 years, I've been a neuroscience and behavior psychology nurse. And I tell people I speak brain. And so I leverage the ability of your brain, the psychology of your brain to live life. Once you know how your brain works and how you can leverage your brain to help you live, you can live peacefully. You've heard of people who say, like, how you go to your child and they are scared that there's a dinosaur, a booger in their room, but you're an adult and there's no dinosaur, anything like that. But to a child, there is, and it's a dark room, and so to them, there's a dinosaur. However, because you're an adult, you're like, one, a dinosaur is not going to fit in this house. Number one. Number two, there is no dinosaur. So please don't even think there is one. However, you're not going to say that to them because to them it's real. Why do I bring that up? There are times when things have happened in your life, and the only way to cuddle yourself into knowing it is well is just to say, it's okay, you're right, it's okay. When you look at the hierarchy of monarch in life, there's a place where they say, okay, basic needs met, and this and that, and then self actualization when you are the very top of your life. When you are that very top, it's because according to you, whatever you desire in your life, you have put it in alignment. I don't say balance, I say alignment. And you've integrated everything that needs to come in place to make it well. Now, I come from Uganda, and of course, we've heard of Africa poverty and everything like that. But some of the comments I've received when people come and travel with us when I take medical teams is they say, my God, they are so happy. Like, despite the poverty, despite they're living in a hut with mud, and when it rains, you see droplets coming through, and you sleep on the ground and no electricity, but they are genuinely happy. The psychology of your brain is to say, where am I right now and what have I done the best with what I have? The other side of it is, oh my God, I need to get this. I need to get this. I need to get a jet. I need to get a car. I need to get $1,000. I need to get $100. And like, if you go that route, then it messes up with your ability. So I would say for those who say, yes, they are where they are, it's because they have settled it in their mind and found alignment. If you find what is important to you now personally, yes, in my faith life, I actually teach my clients the three major things in life, and once you settle those, you find alignment. I have my business is called Aligned to Connect, and so I teach people the art of alignment. And what I say is, find a way to find alignment in your finance and wealth creativity. Find a way to find alignment in your relationships, relationship with you, relationship with your creator, relationship with the people around you. Then find a way to find alignment in your health and well-being. Now, you will say, what is health? A person who is size 0 and size and tall and this and that will be like, oh my God, I got it together. Then you find another person who is curvy and doing well and this weight, but they're like, I got here and I'm happy. When you find somebody else who has their well-being together, and their well-being is, I'm going to work only 30 hours a week and take time off and go sit by the beach, that is their mental well-being. Another one is like, I gotta work 60 hours a week because that's their alignment. So when they say that they got it together, I go back to, what is self-actualization to you, and what have you picked? Kind of like, you know how you go to your doctor and your chiropractor, and they do an adjustment and alignment. So
Right.
that ability to do life like that is what a person wants. To that person who answered those statistics and they say they are okay, is because they found an alignment that has done this to them, and say, nope, I don't have to have a jet, but I have a beautiful car. I don't have to have a Lamborghini. My Toyota is driving very well and I am happy. That is the alignment that they found.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Any other comments on that?
No, I think they both had some valid points, and it just made me realize, listening to Dame Precious around mindset, Dr. Crystal, is huge, right? It really will, your mind really will change the trajectory of your life. And when I think about those results that you just read, it just made me so aware that there's more work for us to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it really made me just very aware that we are needed. The work
Right.
that we're called to do is needed, because those numbers are startling.
Mm.
To see
Yeah.
that
And I want to
really,
get to, as long as I can keep my breath here, I want to get to a couple of the comments, and then we'll do some closing comments with you all too. So it says, last thing, what is something that you would tell your 14-year-old self? So this is something that was actually on the survey. And so one of them says, listen to your mother and father in the direction and powerful examples that your parents modeled and gave you. Another one is, you are worthy of being loved you are worthy of being loved for being you, not what you do, and you have God's power within you to conquer any mountains with grace and flow. Okay, with grace and flow. Another is, get a daily morning routine and stick with it, and strong boundaries. There's a few things related to that. There's a number of these are Bible based. Another one says, trust your instincts. So this is what a person is saying to tell your 14-year-old self. Trust your instincts. They will never fail or judge you. Do not internalize the toxicity. Believe in yourself. You are worth it. So there's like a lot of different ones that people have written here. That's just like some of them. And it's good to see a lot of the biblical references that people have. This one is, believe in yourself, study, work hard, network, share your life, and believe in God. So the 14-year-old self question Pat said that she was the bomb.com at 14. So
Yeah.
Like today.
where was I at
I,
14? I mean, I think I was a good kid. I was a good child. So I think I was
Mhm.
fine at 14 as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. Yeah. I was a little standoffish. I was, more of an introvert at that point, but yeah.
Isn't that funny you say that? Because one of my classmates, you know how when you go on Facebook, you guys, people start coming out of the woodworks from 30 years ago when you were in high school, or, and I was like, they were like, oh, you were always so popular. And I was like, what? No, I was a nerd. What are you talking about? Are you sure you're talking about me? And you see how we see ourselves though, and how other people see us. Isn't it crazy? Because I was like really smart and just like ready to get out of school early and go to college. And I was just really focused, right? And they were like, oh, you were really popular? I'm like, I was? I don't remember that. I was like you, Dr. Crystal. I felt introverted, nerdy.
Yeah, I don't remember that part. Yeah, because I had gotten I was always put in advanced classes and like had to be put into the next grade for different things. And even in junior high school, the other three people that were supposed to go to the high school for math with me chickened out because they were scared to go to the high school. But I went on ahead and went, so I was just me by myself, going up and sitting in that class with them. So yeah, I think that was when I was about 14 when I was in that particular class.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nerdy kid. So what'd you say?
I said that's what I thought too. I mean, I still like to read to this day, and I'm still, I live vicariously. I'm like thinking of a trip I need to go on right now.
Well, good. So what's one thing that helps lighten your load, like something that you just love to do that's fun that you can share with folks so that it's not all about, where we're trying to do all these statistics and look at these lists and get numbers and analyze. Let's just talk about, how do you have fun in your life before we dismiss?
Mine, if I'm gonna go first, I will. I'm partier. Okay. Party meaning I love to travel. I love to travel. So that is my fulfillment in life, is to travel, meet new people, try new foods. I love going to restaurants, trying new food. Somebody cooks, I'll try it, So yeah, so I enjoy that. I enjoy traveling. That's the thing. And I like dancing too. So I love music. Any concert that comes, I don't care what it is, country, gospel, I'll go.
Well, it sounds like you need to make sure that you're in town for my birthday because I'll be cooking for the reception for that. So that's the commercials. I don't know if you've been seeing them, but the Inspiring. There's a lot of different things that we're going to be doing. It's September 8th. And there's a speakers competition before that and whatnot. But after the Inspiry at the Royal location, the dinner reception, I'll be cooking for that. So there'll be some I can't, and then other things I'll cook while we're there. And there's several ladies that are already saying they're going to have a paella cook-off. They're going to have, so they're already talking about having this big, huge pan paella cook-off. So it's
I'm in.
Yeah.
The official taste tester. So now I need to put you on the flyer as the official taste tester.
Yes.
I'll come and try the paella.
Me too.
You're not coming for my birthday. You're coming for the paella.
Girl, I celebrate you every time. Remember, we are royal sisters, right?
Princess. Write it down, ladies.
We are royal sisters.
Well, Sally is going to have to come from Connecticut. It'll be cold there. You'll be happy to come to Arizona.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to answer the question that you just asked. It's actually a combination of your 14-year-old self and then what makes you tick. Like when I see Pat, I'm like, nah, she cannot be bored. There's no way you can. She's the life of the party right there. What makes you tick? One thing I've noticed, and it's a combination, and when people say, "Are you going on vacation?" I'm like, I have vacation every time. Like, I literally have built a life that God has blessed me with just to make vacation every time. One thing that I do, of course, that nonprofit that I do, I have found joy in doing that, not as, oh my God, it's a nonprofit I found and this and like I found a joy in knowing how did I become who I am right now, and how could I help another person become? Somehow that has brought joy and fulfillment in me. I remember when you asked the 14-year-old, I'm like, do I even remember what 14 years old was? Then I went back to my high school and going backwards. I remember my mom used to say I used to gather around kids, the village kids, right? I would gather them around and I would pretend to be mommy and I'll pretend to cook for them. And of course, I'm cooking dirt. So, you know how you cook dirt and make and like here, and then you pretend this is your tea, this is your meat. Like I would pretend doing that. So, I've, from my childhood, I've gathered people around and say, how can we help? And I remember one time she beat me up because I decided to give my shoe to one of the kids that didn't really have anything. But to me, I'm like, that's my sister. Like, she became my sister from, I don't know, but she's my sister. And I gave her one shoe so I can keep one shoe and then we can all have a shoe. And she's like, never give half things, never give half. If you want to ever give all of it. So, in so doing, that 14-year-old has started blossoming and just being. And even when I say I take a team to Uganda and do the medical missions, oh, we have a blast. We do an African safari. We go to the different events. I make sure the life that we do is always enjoyable and everything, so that it doesn't have that sadness of, oh, kids that have cancer, oh, you're going to poor this, poor that, but to create a life that is like, no, it's actually a privilege to be part of their lives. Have you seen Marvin? Marvin is now grown up into this tall, dark, and handsome boy. And it's like that kind of thing. So that I would definitely say being able to live in the purpose of what I know God has created me to be has become my fun thing to do. I don't need a vacation away from it. We are having actually, Dr. Krista, I would like to invite you and everybody here. We're having our fundraiser on April 30th in San Diego. But do you know what we're going to do? It's not like, oh, poor thing, because we're going to be building a children's hospital. So our goal is to make sure we are considered the St. Jude of Uganda. So we do take in kids that have cancer, provide them medical care, and then take doctors and everything. So they donated land to us so that we can build a children's hospital. And now we're like, okay, so let's make this fun. Let's make this. And so the fundraiser, when you hear everything that's going on that we're doing, it's like, no, this is not, oh, poor me, or the kids are starving, or we're going to make sure we go. Like, it's not savior mentality. It is more like, no, we have been blessed to do this. We've been blessed to be in their lives. And the kids that we've taken in, like I mentioned, Marvin or Christine, these are babies that literally had medical issues. Christine had a cancer that was going to pop her eye out, literally, and she would have died. But when we took her on, gave her chemotherapy, now she's in school. Now her dimples are showing. Now she's wanting to become a nurse. Like, that way of living has enabled me to be like, oh my God, okay, let's go save another child. Not in a savior mentality, but more like, what can we be to become a difference in somebody's life? I always tell people, I grew up, yes, in poverty, single mom, but one thing I know, I never felt poor. I never felt, oh my God, we didn't have anything, because my mom always surrounded us with her love, and she also extended her friends to us. So when they say stranger danger, I don't have stranger danger, because strangers came to the rescue of my mom to raise us up. So I have everybody I call auntie and uncle, because they became that. So guess what? Now I have become that auntie and uncle to the Kids Foundation in Uganda. And now we're like, oh no, you want to become an auntie of Precious Kids Foundation? You want to become an uncle of Precious Kids Foundation? Let's go, let's do something. Because having known, especially, I keep saying my life is a combination of many things. Me being a nurse, I've seen people die on deathbed, and one of their things they say, it's not how many Lamborghini companies do I have? How many houses do I have? But it's the impact they've created. So knowing that and coming back fast forward in life and say, how can we help you live to your fullest purpose by being a part of another person's life? You'll find greater joy in being able to do that instead of, oh, yeah, I've built this about life, I've done this, but okay, you got it. But what have you used to be able to have this and then be? That is one thing that I find joy. I literally find joy in that. There is no pity party. And Dr. Crystal knows my posts. Whenever I post on Facebook, you will never see a pity party post on my Facebook. It's not, oh, these kids are so poor, please help them. Oh, they are dying premature. No, it's like, do you know it is a privilege for you to be part of the Precious Kids Foundation? Do you know the lives you're transforming? Do you know that Marvin is going to become a doctor and he's going to remember you because you're the person who became that stranger and auntie to actually help him now overcome that hurdle in life? Because life is a circle. One day somebody's up, another day somebody's down. But that circle of life, that Marvin is now going to become a doctor who will go help other people, who will keep helping other people. So it becomes a circle of life. I am going to stop talking right here because, yes, that to me is the joy I have in life. Totally. Totally. Thank you, Dr. Crystal.
Wow, Sally. Like, I don't know. What are you going to say?
I know.
No, I love what they both said. One of the things that I do just to get away is I love to paint. And so give me a blank canvas and I go to this couple of the senior centers around here and I teach painting classes to the seniors, and I've done things with teens and with kids and done painting classes. And so, when I sit down and look at a blank canvas and I just start painting, the time just flies by. It'll be 5, 6 o'clock at night and I look at the clock and it's 2 in the morning and I'm still sitting here. So that's kind of my getaway. It's my stress relief, and it's just something that I just love to do for me, for that self-care.
Yeah.
Love.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to paint with Sally. So Dr. Crystal, what about you? What's that thing that you do?
Dances.
I love to dance. I've taught dance all over the world, and our oldest daughter is a professional dancer. Our youngest is a great dancer too, but she went into engineering like her mom. And my husband is a great dancer too, so they have genes on both sides of the family, But I just love to just dance and be free, and I just love to just go out and be in nature, to smell just to smell the fresh air and curl my toes up in the grass with my tutus on. So I wear tutus like a lot, everywhere that I go. Sometimes it doesn't matter what I'm doing. And so just being out there and just being free with my little tutu on in the hammock, and my husband takes blackmail pictures of me like knocked out sleep with my mouth open. With my tutu on. Little girls come by, I like your tutu, because like there's nobody else out in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere with a tutu on except for me.
Get your dance on.
Yeah. I mean, I just love nature. So, yep.
That's awesome. I think that's so important, because I think as women, again, I know me growing up, I was never taught that, right? To have that level of self-care. We always feel like we need to be doing for others, and that's how we feel valuable, because we're always doing for someone else. And I always, I teach women too. I remember hearing very young, I never heard my mother say, take care of yourself, other than that time of the month. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But other than that, it was, take care of your brother, look out for your sister. We took care of everybody else, but no one taught us how to take care of ourselves. And so that's why women today are so in a space where they feel that they're in fulfillment, or they're in self-care because they're caring for others, or they're doing for others. But then when you ask people, what are you doing for you? Like, what's that thing that you just do for you? I don't care if it's, I brush my hair. I don't care what that is. You have to still have something you do for you, you guys. And I will tell you, the minute we learn how to really be in a position to have care for ourselves in the way that's healthy, we're going to show up for other people in our lives. It's so much better, just so brilliant.
Mm.
And so
I think that goes to the word that we've been using earlier today is awareness.
yeah,
As we elevate our awareness, our self-awareness, our physical surroundings awareness, like having where we're in touch with what's going on in here, what's going on in here, what's going on around here. And part of that comes from having where we've taken care of our bodies. And I tell you, like on some of the things I'm doing right now related to this 90-day vegan, like not even being hungry and just having where you can hear your body better. You can hear it better. You can like feel the blood running through your veins. You can you just like know what's going on. And when I don't have, like this morning, it was too early to boil my fresh ginger and lemon that I have every single day. It does something for you. And so the awareness, that word can be used in a lot of different areas of our life. And it makes life so much easier when we're aware.
Yeah, you're right. I think about awareness and the level of awareness, and that so many of us are walking around not even aware. I mean, it's almost like, and it's disheartening in a way to think about it from a perspective that somebody who drinks too much, they're not aware that they drink too much, because it becomes habit for us. It becomes normal for us. People who overeat, they will literally say, "I don't eat that much." You're looking at them like, you just scarfed down 2 hamburgers, 3 bags of fries, and a shake. In my mind, that's a lot. But to them,
especially when we use the word scarf.
Right. And they're like, but I don't eat that much. So it is about having a level of awareness, because I do eat a lot too, y'all. I'm just going to tell you. But I'm aware of it, though, y'all. I'm aware of it. I eat. I do. But I'm just saying, there's people who just don't have that level of awareness, I think, because it's ingrained in who people are. And so that's the key, is how do you heighten people's awareness?
And part of it goes back to what I was saying as far as doing those things, having where you have some kind of faith-based system, and the Holy Spirit will tell you a lot and give you a lot, especially, if you do actually do not just intermittent fasting for health reasons, but fast and pray over some things that we want to hear from God, but intermittent fasting helps as well. So like being in tune, it's really almost like hard to explain what I'm saying, because it's just something that you just have to feel. But it has to do with the process of a lot of things that we all know we need to do. Drink enough water, get enough rest, and eating properly, and having enough exercise, and having where you stimulate your mind, because those who have their mind stimulated are less likely to have some of the other things that happen related to, some of the neurological, well, she's a neuroscientist. I don't want to start acting like I'm a neuroscientist, but you have where you can do a lot by doing all of those things that we hear every single day. We hear every day that we're supposed to exercise. We hear every day we're supposed to drink amount of water. We hear every day all of these different things, but until we actually start doing those things and put them in place, then we can't see or feel the benefits.
Yeah.
I got to tell you too that things didn't start happening in my life until I started taking care of me. And it was that making that decision back in 2020 to say, you know what, I hit rock bottom, and I said, I'm going to start pouring into me. I haven't done anything for me in years. And doing that by stepping out and start taking online courses and reaching out to people and eating healthier, and the opportunities and doors started opening up because I was pouring into me that I hadn't seen in 50 57 years.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't happening because I wasn't aware, right? I was living my life. I was paying the bills. I was going to work. I was doing all the things I was supposed to be doing, but I wasn't taking care of me. I was taking care of everybody else. And it wasn't until I stopped and said, you know what, I'm a mess. If I don't start taking care of me, nobody's going to get anywhere.
Right. There will be no more you. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And Sally,
so ladies,
I was just going to say, for the people who are listening, what were some of the, I will say, when you start to really take care of you, and not so much other people, what were some of the things you experienced from that, from a backlash perspective? Because you talked about all the great stuff that happened to you, right? And how things come. I want people to know it's not all going to be great when you start focusing on you.
Not easy.
You're not going to like it.
So you know what wasn't great, but at the time it was COVID. And so I had the excuse where I couldn't do because I couldn't be there. You know? And so pouring into me during that time was easier because I didn't have to be going to my parents all the time and taking care of all the stuff that needed to be taken care of because, you know, they had all figured out for themselves because I wasn't available and we couldn't do it anymore, you know? And so, and even with the family, you know, things weren't getting done the same way. And it's fun because they will step up. They will step up if you stop doing the things that you do. Have those boundaries, right?
Right.
Dr. Krista, I see you're doing this. Are we stopping?
Yeah,
I was going to answer something.
Our next speakers are here. You have 30
thank
seconds.
You.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Pat, you mentioned something. What was the backlash? But how about what was the celebration? When I was working double shifts, thank you, Dr. Krista, I love you. When we were working double shifts and everything like that, because I was taking care of my mom, my sister, that. And then one day, my body was done. And I said, okay, I cannot do 3 double shifts and 3 jobs and everything. I need to stop 1 or 2 so that I recoup. Do you know they celebrated me and they're like, yes, thank you. We didn't know how to tell you to stop. Thank you, Dr. Crystal. I'll stop. I love you.
That's
Thank
a
you for counting.
Yes.
Awesome, ladies. Awesome. Well, I'm glad I had all 3 of you on together. This has been an amazing conversation, and you all saved my life from this little rascal right here. I was like, oh, let me try to get off the screen. Oh my gosh. Founder of WOIII, you know. So yeah, it was good. And Sally wrote, oh, Pat steps up as host. Great job. You didn't even ask if I was a host.
She didn't have a choice.
Thanks a lot,
yeah,
Sally.
actually, she did good.
I just saw my face on the screen, so I was like, yeah. And so what happens?
You go with the flow. When the cameras do that,
go with the
go
flow.
with the flow.
And you are a nurse and didn't even ask if I was okay. But
listen, okay. Do you want me to answer that? Whenever somebody is coughing, we know you're okay. Trust me. We don't even bother.
When she stops coughing, that's when you're going to be concerned.
When you stop coughing, that's when I'll panic. When you're coughing, I'm like, she's good. She's good. She's clear. So that's why I wouldn't panic.
Okay. All right.
Because I want you to take your breath and not, you don't have to answer, are you okay? You don't have to answer, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. No, I know you're okay because you're taking your breath. I'll let you not take an extra breath by answering you're okay. I know you're okay.
Well, now that we have that figured out, I'll have to see if my feelings are still hurt. You all didn't check on my health. Sally's like, Sally's like, oh, great job, Pat. Great job, Pat. I'm like, what about me over here, choking? It was good though. It was a good transition. She was able to just kind of feel that time while I had to get a quick drink. Bless you guys. Love you all. And I will be getting information to you all about the paella contest that's going to be going on and all of the wonderful things and Pat, related to what you're doing and teaching. And Sally, you know, you're always amazing. And we have various things that we're doing with Miss Linda and your organization. Action Takers Publishing is off the chain. And Dame Precious, always a blessing to humanity. So thank you so, so much for all that you do.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you for
ladies. It
having
was
us.
awesome
Don't
serving with
forget
you
to join
today.
us April 30th for our fundraiser in San Diego. Go to Precious
Wonderful.
Kids
Please.
Foundation banquet. We'll see you.
Wonderful. I
Thank you.
love the support. Thank you,
Thank you.
ladies. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Crystal.
Thank
Many
you.
blessings. Happy.
Well, hey, everybody. Good to see you and good to see Hidden Hills Coffee, Miss McNair. And we have another wonderful woman here, Miss Celia. How you doing?
I am blessed and highly favored, Queens. How y'all feeling? Happy International Women's Day!
Woo-hoo!
Yes.
Awesome. We have some other people that are going to be joining us. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So Brenda, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Brenda McNair. I am the owner of Hidden Hills Coffee, the freshest coffee in the United States. So I'm really excited to share that with you. And of course, just talking about all these wonderful women and how we're going to change the world.
Amen.
Right. And Celia.
Hi, so my name is Celia Colon. A lot of people use my initials, CC. I am the founder and director of GOD, which is God Giving Others Dreams. We are a non-for-profit in the south side of Chicago. We are a direct reentry and community healing center. Our mission is to promote public safety, and we do violence intervention and prevention work.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And Misty is in the house.
Good, I guess evening now almost, right? Good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
I am Misty Kerrigan. I am a business psychologist and obsessed with psychology, personal development, and just behavior modification. I started with 23 years in children's mental health, And then about 10 years ago, moved into collegiate at UC Davis and trainings, and obsessed, kind of like sometimes Dr. Crystal is, right, with the how do we help more people by getting the formulas together, or just getting the things that we can learn about people to teach other people. So I'm very excited to be here today and absolutely love WOIII.
Right. And I prefer, Misty, the word passionate, not obsessed. You're like how Dr. Crystal is over here. Passionate. I'm passionate.
Great word.
My husband isn't cheap. He's frugal.
Frugal.
There's a difference. Right. So, ladies, thank you all for being on today. I'm changing up the questions a little bit all day. And so I wanted to kind of go to this survey. I don't know if you all took it. Let me go ahead and hit refresh. There is a lot of great information that we were able to get off this one. I can probably go to the other one, but I'm just looking at some of the information related to people feeling that they're fit. And so it's the shirt I have on. I got up and showed the shirt earlier, but it's, focused, intentional, and tenacious. Had really high scores. But the one score that was kind of interesting was, do you feel like you want things to be different in your life? Only about 15% said that they feel that they're totally on the right path. Like the rest of them are different percentages of things that they want to have different in their life. Only 15% said that they felt that they were like really, really, really on the right path for this particular part of the survey. So I wanted to start with that to see what you all thought about those results. Whoever wants to go first.
So you're saying that out of this survey of how many women or men?
Well, I'm not giving that. I'm just saying, yeah.
Like in general, there's only 15% of people that actually feel like they're on the right pathway. So I think for people like that, that's a very low amount, very low percentage. I feel that for me, I can speak for myself. I know I'm in the right path and on my right path. And I think that comes from clarity. I think that comes from knowing and knowing what their gifts are, right? Knowing what they're passionate about and actually just learning how to use that to make some money, and not just make some money, but make an impact in the world. And I think that when people find what their purpose is, it's always a service, right? It's always a gift to somebody else. Every time you find out what you're passionate about, what you love to do, it's a service to somebody else. So when people find that, they will find their passion, they will find their love, they will find that they can do this with ease. It's because that's what their gift is. So for me, I think if people really just honed in on their craft and really just accept the divine downloads that come from the Holy Spirit, right? That come when you're meditating, that come when you're dreaming, right? I believe those divine downloads are visions that God gives you because he knows your gifts, he knows your inner spirit, and he knows you're capable, right, of bringing those things to fruition. So for me, it's about spending time with yourself, really knowing what your gifts are, what you're passionate about, and learning how you can service others and make a good living off of it.
Right. And I just want to clarify, and then Brenda, you can go, is that, there was like about that same percentage of people had that they felt that they were like 100% on track. And then the other two answers that were in there, I want to change about 50% of the things about me, or about 25% of the things about me. So those were the biggest numbers. But based on the answer to that one, it ended up showing that only 15%, I'm 100% okay. So some people just wanted to just change a little bit, or, maybe half of the things that they're doing. But I don't know if that makes any difference to what you stated, Celia, but I just thought that was interesting. Brenda, what was your comment?
I was going to say that, again, I can only talk on behalf of myself, but I think also it's seasons. We all go through seasons in our lives, right? We're growing up, we're trying to learn kind of who we are. Then we hit our 20s and we're like, what are we doing? We hit our 30s, And I think those seasons are really important. So as we're going through and maybe doing these surveys, we're reflecting. Did we kind of do what we wanted to do at that time in our life? I mean, everybody has a time in their life where they need to change for one reason or next. Sometimes it's voluntary, and sometimes it's really not voluntary. Like, we have to do what we have to do, right? But really taking, like, I really like how Celia said, taking your time to realize who you are, before you hit that point, maybe that you have to make those changes, but just understanding too, that when you do surveys like these, with a very elderly, at least the research I've seen, that people who are elderly look back at their lives and they say, well, during that season when I was raising my kids, I felt it was the best time. Then during that season when my kids were raised, then this, so really saying too, like throughout the seasons, that it's okay to say, you know what, right now I'm doing the best I can right now. Right. Or I will get to this goal, and having those goals set, but understanding too, sometimes it takes time. And those development, having those mentors, having people that are helping guide you, listening, understanding. So it's really giving yourself time to understand that this season in your life may or may not be going the way you want it right now. But as you get older, it can change. Things can change at any point of your life, to good or bad. But if you have a good mindset, usually good. But that's my feeling on it.
Right. Misty?
So I was reading a book by a organizational psychologist, and he said something that really it really hit me. It said, a compass sets your direction. It doesn't tell you your direction. And so sometimes I think maybe their compass is set by others. I was at a women's event this morning, and I was talking to, they were 19 and 20. They were so young. And we were talking about mentorship. And I said, sometimes when you're young and you have these great ideas, sometimes, unfortunately, us older people, we throw shade at them, which I guess the kids don't say anymore. And she said it was so funny. She was telling her, some of her parents that she wanted to be a teacher. And they told her not to do it because the salary and they're not respected. And so they were kind of already just throwing it on there. And I go, did you even think about what kind of teacher you want it to be? Because there's so many different ways to teach. And she was all like, no, I didn't. And so I'm thinking that sometimes if we let others try to set our direction and we're not, and I love how, Cecilia, how you said we're just not aligned with our divine gifts, that it does kind of affect us. Like, am I where I'm supposed to be? And the other thing that he mentioned that was really, really good was sometimes we're good at something and people expect it of us, but we're not great at it and it doesn't fulfill us. And so we live good things, but not great things because sometimes we're scared to leave good.
That's really good. That's good. And that was me. I told my brother I was leaving engineering school to become a teacher. He's like, no, you're not. Don't get paid. It was like I was having a hard day or something. He's like, no, you're not. So you just got to suck up whatever's going on, because that's just not happening. And so I was able to do teaching, all over the world with what I do with engineering. So that was a way to fulfill that, just like Misty was talking about. So I didn't know I was in your class, Misty. You're like, yeah, and she did this and that. I'm like, that was me. So this other one, ladies, get your input on this. This is the wrong link. So self-care can help you maintain a healthy lifestyle. Do you stick to a self-care routine? So, some people said no, like 8% said no. I try to do something specific for myself at least once per month, but don't always stick to it. That was the 23%. So the highest was I do every day, but that was just 33%. So about a third of the people say that they do stick to some kind of self-care routine. And we all know that that's something that is important. So that was really good to see that. So maintaining mental health is imperative. What works best for you? And what works best for you to help you stay motivated and not get anxiety, depression, or borderline suicidal. And so what people said the most, it was 45%, is a mixture of like a lot of different things. It's not like any one thing. And I think that that's kind of healthy, not to have like, where it's just one modality. But what are you all's thoughts on, what helps you keep a good mental attitude and help you to ward off anxiety and depression? Any thoughts, ladies?
So also for me, self-care is a must. If you're not taking care of yourself, you cannot take care of anyone. It's a ritual that if I don't practice my self-care, I always tell people, if you can't spend 10 minutes just for you, then you're not living for you. And for me, everything is mental health. I am what's called the wellness warrior. I help people create, self-care plans. I teach people that, we're going to live in these bodies and we're going to spend more time being old than we do young. So we need to get a regimen in place while we're young, and something that becomes an everyday, procedure that has to happen. If not, you can't function correctly. And that's kind of what my motto has been. I have this whole ritual in the morning between 5:30 and 6:30 where my phone's on airplane mode, and I do whatever I feel, whether it's meditation, yoga. I have a pond outside. I sit on a tree. I read, whatever I feel I need for that day. But I always wake up, even before I touch the floor. As soon as I wake up and I'm breathing again, I'm in prayer, and I'm just grateful that I'm alive and I'm able to create the life that I want. One of the things that I wanted to just, on the other part that you were talking about, one of the things to share with everybody is something that one of my mentors taught me many, many years ago. Like, the biggest room in the house is room for improvement. So you might not be where you want to be today, but baby, every day you have a chance to wake up and be and create and do something different. Totally your mindset and totally your heart. And that's one of the things that I see that's missing out here in the world of service. Everybody always thinks that helping with a job or something material is what's going to fulfill people. And it's the emotional and mental wellness that's forgotten about in a lot of spaces. And I tell people, because I'm in the world of reentry, where they think that if you give somebody who just came home from prison a great job, that's the end to everything and that solves all the problems. No. If they're not right mentally and emotionally, they're not going to keep that job. So I don't care how much you're trying to pay somebody. It could be a 6-figure job. But if you're not doing what you're supposed to do to take care of you and to make sure that your heart is fulfilled, that your mind is fulfilled, that your spirit is fulfilled, you're not going to be able to do anything. I don't care what your social or financial, I would say, economic levels are, right? Because we know billionaires and millionaires who are depressed and lonely, right? So money means nothing. It's about who you are inside and how you take care of you. So for me, it's an everyday thing. It's the spiritual. For me, what I have in my office, safety equals a well-balanced human. So that means we're taking care of the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual. We got to make sure all of that is right before I can even present myself to you in the spiritual, physical world, right?
Right, right. Any other thoughts on that before I ask another question?
I was just going to agree with her. I think it's important to. I taught for 15 years, and I did special ed for 8 years, and I knew kids that were fully nonverbal. And my job, I've always worked with the severe, so my job was not only just to, I always felt my calling was encouragement and hope. Encouragement and hope, especially for this next generation. And so I know as we get older, we get stronger, and we know, but I always felt, and even till this day, with any kind of students or people that I'm working with, especially young children, I always tell them, you remember, you are amazing, you are loved, and you are going to do outstanding things. And just really giving people encouragement. I do the same thing every morning. I have a ritual too, taking care of my personal self. I pray every single day before I right before I get up, I pray. Before I go to bed, I pray. Very grateful, very, and then I have a weird ritual. I don't know if people do it too, but I literally listen to music for 30 minutes in the morning. I don't know what it is, but if I have that 30 minutes of music. It could be different kind of music. It's always different mix. Sometimes it's, all different mixes. One day it's rock and roll. One day it's, all different mixes, it just something calms me down. Just 30 minutes of that. And I'm like, okay, I'm good to go. So when I don't have that, I can tell the rest of my day, like if I'm driving somewhere, I'm like, I have to get my music in. Anyway.
And
everybody needs to find their gift. And I've always felt my personal gift has always been encouragement, having that positive light to somebody else, because it makes not only them feel better, but it makes me feel better of who I am, to encourage somebody else that no matter where you're at, you can become something else you may have not dreamed of, so.
Beautiful. I just wanted to say for you, Miss Coffee, music, I'm a sound healer. So music, and she knows, the psychiatrist here, it's the only thing that actually stimulates both sides of your brain, and you're actually allowed to heal when music is happening, because there's different frequencies, right, that heal different things in your body. So you're healing yourself, baby, when you're jamming out.
Just don't watch me on the freeway when I'm singing with the window rolled down. And everybody in LA this time, we goes like 7 miles, and it was like an hour and a half for 7 miles. I'm like, okay, we about to roll down the window. I'm like singing. These people are crazy in LA. They're like, you got so much joy. Come on, Hidden Hills Coffee. Try some. Anyway.
I was gonna say, now I want to try that coffee.
But you have to do the jingle. I made people do the jingle yesterday, and they would come up. I was like, well, you're not going to get it until you do the jingle. She kept running out, and then the plug wouldn't work, and then they had to take it inside for people to for them to warm it up inside. And then when they came back out, there was a big old long line. I'm like, how am I even going to interview this woman, because they kept running out of coffee?
Well, we did 200 cups of coffee. I made 200 cups, 2 huge urns of coffee, 200 cups. We went through 200 cups of coffee for 90 people. So that means people kept coming back. Did you see people coming back? They kept coming back. So we ran out of coffee. They came back. We came back with another 200 cups of coffee. And as my friend was walking the coffee in on the rolly thing, because it's so heavy. It was a lot of coffee. You saw it.
It's not a normal size. It's not a normal size thing.
Yeah.
It's like wide and.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
As she's walking, people were walking behind her, going to the coffee. I was like, okay, which one do you want? Which one do you want? It's been a blessing. It is truly a blessing. I have no complaints at all. But yeah, yesterday was a lot of fun. We were doing the whole jam and everything.
You ready?
Like, Hidden Hills Coffee. Hidden Hills Coffee.
And the one guy was only the coffee guy. He would just say, coffee. Coffee. So this might be one of those things that you had to be there for it to be like really cool, but it was really a lot of fun.
It's supposed to be joyous. That's life. People ask me, my motto of my business is Hidden Hills Coffee, a blessing in every cup, because every order I get, I pray over every order. And so people probably think that's weird. I even had somebody say, is there a devil in your coffee? So you're trying to bless it out? And I was like, no. I was like, no.
You're praying over it.
I literally, every person who has supported me, I feel like that's a support to me personally. So I bless them, and I bless whoever takes my coffee. So yesterday, before the coffee went out, I was making my prayer, that every person who is there be blessed in one way or the next, whether they drank my coffee or not, that they're blessed. So yeah, but it is really fun to encourage people, and that's part of self-care too. And, anyway, sorry, what do you think, Misty? Hidden Hills Coffee. Yep.
I think I'm going to be going to LA soon to try your coffee.
Yeah, my company is only 7 months old. And when we were talking about how your life can shift at any moment, right? I started my coffee company. Basically, I was around other people, and we were all tasting the coffee, and it was just stale. We're like, why is this coffee so stale? And I was the only one to say, do you guys notice this coffee is just stale? I was a teacher 15 years, I know coffee. So they were like, yeah, but there's nothing we can do about it. I said, yeah, you can. You can always make a change in a change. And they're like, well, what are you going to do, McNair? I said, well, I'll start my own coffee company. Everybody in that whole table laughed at me. Everybody laughing. Like, I'm all, wait a minute. Like, do I look like I'm that? But you got to understand, I mean, I was working with 3 to 5 year old kids with autism. I was working, just in a whole different realm, to say you're going to start your own coffee business, right? And then I was like, it's going to be the best coffee ever. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be organic. It's going to be FDA facility, roasted, fresh to order, vegan. I mean, the whole list. And everybody's like, like it got even worse, right? So at the end of the day, I had to encourage myself. I encourage everybody else. And if somebody else would have probably said, I've been the first one, like, that's great, Mm-hmm. I'm like, I got to encourage myself. So right. I went on the hunt, did it. And here I am 7 months later at an Oscar VIP giveaway. And just, it's really, and a lot of people see my passion too. I mean, she was there yesterday and everybody, I just have such a passion for not just the coffee itself, but really giving, you were saying, Celia, earlier about blessing others, right? And I believe in that. I believe you can bless others in no matter what you do, whether you're teaching, whether you're handing out coffee, whether you're serving, whether you're missions, whether you're whatever it is, so even you're just handing out a coffee to somebody, you can be a blessing to them, right?
So I have a question.
Yeah, just encourage me.
A question. And then we'll be wrapping up after one other question. So you all have where I'm giving you, this is hypothetical, don't get all excited. So I'm giving you an intern, and they have low self-esteem. It's a female. This is International Women's Day. So a female, low self-esteem, they've been through a lot of things, but they have a good head on their shoulders. They just don't know how to get it out, but they need to have a job. And so they want to be an intern and work, side by side with you. So what would you tell them, or how would you approach that situation to let them know that everything is going to be okay? Celia.
I deal with this every day in the work that I do. I deal with a very vulnerable, I would say I deal with a lot of people with trauma, unhealed trauma. So I see this all the time. And the best thing that you could ever do is just create space, right? And let them know, right? I always tell people there's greatness inside of all of us. Everyone's born with a divine gift, and they just need encouragement. They need some hand holding. Sometimes they might have never had someone in their life hug them and tell them that they were beautiful or gave them a compliment. I have a mirror in my front office where I actually have people recite positive affirmations to themselves. And I can see trauma in people when they can't even call themselves beautifully, wonderfully made, fierce. Like they can't dish out these compliments to themselves, right? Without them even telling you that they have self-esteem issues or trauma, hidden trauma, but you can see it in how they present themselves or how they shy away in a room or how they don't use their voice and stand in their power. So sometimes it's just their energy. And for me, what I do is just start really pouring into them, giving them things to read, videos to watch, sharing personal stories. So one of the things that I do here at my office every day, Tuesday through Friday, because I deal with what society likes to call high risk people, which they're just people that need some more love. I don't like that title. But I bring in inspirational speakers all the time, right? To show you that I don't care who you came from, where you came from, you're always one decision away from a different life. And you have the power, right? I always tell people we must remember how powerful we are. We are made of one of the strongest, most powerful elements of the universe, water, right? It's on other planets, it's on other stars and other universes. And it's the most powerful thing in the earth, not just the earth, in the universe, right? And we're made of that stuff, like 70% in the body, 90% in the brain. There's nothing that you can't transform into. There's nothing that you can't destroy. There's nothing that you can't get through. There's nothing that you can't get over or get in, because we are water. So reminding them how powerful they are. Helping them when you see a skill in them that they might not see in themselves, right? So some of my young people, I tell them, man, I see that glow in you. You're a hustler. You're passionate. Let's turn that into something else, right? So just really sometimes being that mentor or that visionary because of their drive, because of their experiences that you might know of, right? You tell them that's Earth School. That's the most important school on Earth, right? Your lived experience. Like, I'm a PhD, baby, all day long through Earth School, right? So therefore, no one can tell you how to tell your story. No one can tell you your experiences and how they changed you, formed you, turned you into whatever you are today. So therefore, just really being that person that maybe they never had in their life, right? That gives them the prayers, the scriptures, the books to read, the people to watch, like Dr. Crystal, right? Things like that. Just really being that person that they didn't even know they needed.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, ladies, I'd like to thank you for being on for this particular segment. And I'll give you the one word challenge that I've given some of the other folks. So this is just like your last, and I'll have where you can have two. So like, think big is 2 words. It's not where you're going to have extra explanation. It's just going to be 2 words. So these are your last 2 words that you're able to leave with whomever, because it's your last breath. These are the 2 last words you're going to place on this earth. So who has 2 words?
Besides Rosebud, I think literary joke, right? My 2 words would be gratitude. I'm gonna have 3. Start with gratitude.
Well, no, you can't. No, you're not changing. I'm about to take you off the screen. I'm kicking you off the floor. You can have some time to, think of one. Okay. Did somebody else have one?
Love yourself.
Love yourself. You see, Misty, those are 2 words. You see how that works? Love yourself. And then she says, love yourself. And then, that's good. Brenda.
You're loved.
See,
You're loved. Because when somebody, you'd be surprised when you tell somebody, you're loved.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I know that you're using an apostrophe, but I'll take it. Okay.
It works. I'm a teacher. I'm going to give that an A+. I'm just kidding.
Well, she's going to say it and then
if my student would have said that, I would have accepted it.
Okay.
It is
all right, Misty.
Stay inspired.
Stay inspired. Okay, that's 2 words. Very good.
That was 2.
You see how you came back strong? Very good. Very good. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being a part of our International Women's Day. It was great to have you on. And it's always great for us to just kind of, see what other women are thinking too. So that survey helped us to have a little bit of dialogue, and maybe our answers helped someone collectively as we reviewed it and gave some comments. So thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you, Dr. Crystal, for everything that you do, for inspiring us, for creating the space for women, for honoring women, for being those women that are just taking the charge and setting the examples. I love you. Thank you. Nice meeting both of you ladies. Keep doing great work. Please connect with me. I'm here in Chicago. Anytime you guys come by, we're here. And can I do one last thing, Miss Dr. Crystal? So I just wanted to share. We're collecting money in the state of Illinois to take 200 impacted women to Washington to fight for women's rights, to fight for violence against women. April 24, we will be in Washington. It's an international movement because, unfortunately, the violence that women face, it's the same in every country. It's just worse in other countries where women are really not protected. And
Right.
It's time we take a stand. So I invite the world to join us. We can't do this alone. Love you guys. Thank you.
Love you. Thank you.
All right, be safe.
Well, hey, everyone. My name is Dr. Crystal Richardson. So extremely happy to be with you still for International Women's Day. We have another guest that is ready to come on backstage right now. And then we have some people already waiting in the next one, which is our last segment. This is segment 6. Segment 7 is our last. And so I have to get this information I keep talking about this fashion designer from Denmark. Hopefully she's still available to help make us more international. But this young lady right here has been all over the world too. And I want to bring her up in her beautiful green today. How are you doing, sister?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. It's been a minute.
I miss you. It's been a minute.
Yeah. And so have you been like in maybe about 17, 18 countries since I've seen you last?
Close. You're very close. It's just amazing how when you're tuned in to the right frequencies of the universe, everything just opens up for you and you don't even know. You just have to have your eyes and heart open to all the opportunities that gets your way.
Right.
And it will happen, just manifesting and praying and being grateful for the blessings as you always, also condone and teach people.
Right. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, thank you, Miss Crystal Richardson, for having me on the show today. I'm so proud and happy to be here. I'm Janice Jimenez, better known as a real estate gal. For the most people who know me, I am in the real estate realm. I do everything in real estate, including sales and mortgages and renovations and flips and syndications and multifamily and commercial. You name it, I do it. And that's why, hence the real estate gal, right? So I've also been all over the world looking at properties and real estate all over the world and explaining the differences in the markets. And we're actually selling properties in Dubai now as well. So I'm back and forth going over there. The opportunities is fantastic. And get this, 0% mortgage interest. So
really?
That's unheard of. So I am so happy to bring that over to investors from all over the world. Get your money's worth without the expense of an expensive mortgage or loan. And so it really is very affordable to own some real estate portfolio outside of where you live. Granted, who to trust to, help you find those great investments.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, Nancy was on and she was just really all on everybody. Like, okay, everybody should have a building, okay? All y'all, she said, all y'all need a building.
No, absolutely. It is one asset that actually never loses value. I mean, probably temporarily sometimes, when the ups and downs of the market, but over time, there is no loss in real estate. It is a piece of asset that you could always take on with you, plus give it to your heirs and, have a legacy to leave when, it's time for you to take on the next chapter.
Right, definitely. And so what do you have to share with our women for today? Just ones that are just really hoping to pour into their hopes and dreams, and they've maybe had some setbacks. I've asked slightly different questions to each of the groups, and so this is one of the ones that I have for you. People who have like setbacks. What can you tell them?
Okay, thank you for that question, Crystal, Dr. Crystal. And you know that I'm one of the authors for the book, Transforming Pain into Purpose. And so one of the reasons that I am invited into that book is because I've been through so many things in my lifetime, a lot of falls. And I think that that has made me who I am today. So in my, I'm 48 now. I just turned 48 and just had my birthday in Egypt in the Pyramid of Giza.
Wow. Okay.
It seems like I have lived through 1,000 lifetimes. It hasn't always been easy. There's good times, there's bad times, but at the end of the day, I think it all equates to how strong I am, how determined I am, how resilient I am to whatever it is coming my way. I didn't start like this. I started, I'm an immigrant. I was young. I married very early on. There was a lot of adjustments that I have to do with the culture and marriage and having to be a young mom. She's 24, she's turning 24 now, my oldest. And so everything was just hard. All of these challenges, being a minority, I stutter a lot. I had a hard time trying to acclimate to not being in a native country. And so it seems hard in the beginning, but I've always been somebody that has have this belief that every single person on this earth has a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. It's about finding what that purpose is. And these little roads that we encounter down in our journey to life is either at times something for you to think about, to do a U-turn, or something for you to pick up and learn from it. I find that everything that happens has a purpose in your being. Even a person that you meet, whether or not they're just an acquaintance, whether you just said hello to them, whether you just stumble upon on them, I don't think that is ever a coincidence. And I call the people that come into your life, some of them permanently, some of them temporarily, as arrows, as directional arrows. Because sometimes God speaks to you through the people around you or through the circumstance that happens around you. God says, turn this way, Jenny. God said, oh, you're done with this purpose, or you're done with your purpose to the other person, meaning you move on over. Because remember, it's not just you in this world. So you, Dr. Crystal, meeting me had a purpose, right? And I may have, given you something that I don't even know I did. And you may have given me something that you don't even know that you had instilled in me. And so everybody has a purpose, even the one who hated you, even the one who said something harsh to you, even the one who did not recognize you or even gave you any indication that you have done anything for them at all. You have never known the type or the value that you have given to them, whether it's good or bad. And that's why I'm saying to everybody, nothing is ever circumstantial. Take this, that the world is happening for you, not to you. And you wake up with a whole different perspective and a whole different way of looking at life. And it's all a part of the big journey. You're never going to get to where you want to be, because by the time you get closer to there, your goals change. You want something else, or you realize that you don't want this one, but you want that one, because that has more better purpose for you. And as you grow as a person, it's not only about the material things you gain in life. It's not about, what you have accomplished or your accolades or your awards. It's more of who you are and what have you done to make this world a better place to live in.
Yeah. What have you done to make this world a better place to live in? Like, such powerful words, because everybody has a choice each and every day when they wake up. Am I going to have a life of gratitude, a life of thanksgiving? Am I going to seek out someone, to be kind to, or am I having where I want to have all the actions directed toward me? Well, he should be kind to me. He should do this, or they should let me into this traffic. Like all of it, it's our directions have to be aligned where we have, where there's more that we're giving out. Because when that happens, it even makes your health better, because you don't have everything pent up this way.
You know what? If you carry everybody else's burden, you can't even see your own, and it harms you. And because, that also blinds you, because now you don't know what to prioritize. And, just like everybody else says, when you're in an airplane, you've got to put that oxygen mask on yourself first so you can help others. So if you just devote yourself in taking care of everybody else besides you, if something happens to you, nobody else is going to take care of them. So make sure that you put yourself first. That's not being selfish. I think that's even being a person for others, is for you to take care of yourself. You make a very good point in that, Dr. Crystal, because a lot of especially the moms. We give to the last dime, we give to the last cent, we give to the last rice, a bit of rice or grain, the last bread. We will give it to the ones we love. But at the end of the day, who takes care of you? Right. And so, that is a very powerful lesson that I think I've managed to pick up along the way, is that you have to take care of yourself, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual self, and your whole being, and make sure that you thrive. Because we're like candles, if there's no one filling you, the candle is gonna go out and just die. So you have to have something or someone making sure that you continue to have what a fire needs, that air, that oxygen, that love, that, that togetherness, and not even just physical needs, it's what you need emotionally, because that is as equally important as, as a physical need for us to thrive and live.
Definitely. So what do you have going on next as we get ready to close? We have just a few seconds left. Anything that you want to share that you're doing next?
Oh yeah, well, tomorrow I'm actually teaching a workshop called Business Resiliency. I want to teach, the entrepreneurs how to make sure that their business lasts a long time, because, that's very important. So it's giving, some value of what I've learned over the years. My business has been here over 20 years now, and so I have a thing or two to teach them. And then coming up would be, hopefully sometime this year or early next year, would be the launching of the book I've been working on for a very long time, and it's called Faith It and You'll Make It. It's actually a declaration that if you have faith that you you're going to do it, you have God behind you, that you will make it. It's not when you make it. It's not fake it. It's faith. As in you have faith in yourself, and you have faith in how you're being, and you'll make it. It's really not. It's not negotiable. You will. So so one of the things that I want to impart to everybody needs to have faith in yourself and on how you're being, and you're going to get through whatever it is that you're going through right now. It is not the end. It's actually making you stronger, and it's going to make you more blessed, and it's going to make you more wiser as you go on. So good luck to everybody. And I'm again with Dr. Richardson here. I'm grateful that you have me on the show, and I hopefully have given some bits of love and inspiration to the women out there who are on their journey. And again, I'm here also as a business and breakthrough coach. If they need help, where to find me is my full name, JaniceJimenez.com, if they ever need to reach out to me. Or ask Dr. Richardson or just Crystal when to find me. She always knows how to get to me. So.
Right. So over here with the ones that we have, you think it would be business and leadership or wealth and investments?
Business and leadership is what I'm really into. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you being on with us, and we're going to finish up our last segment. Oh my gosh. I'm really happy to hear from you, to be able to get you on with all of these amazing ladies. It's been so many nuggets today.
I love to be here anytime. I am at your disposal. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
It's been wonderful. See you soon.
All right. See you. Greetings, everyone. This is Dr. Richardson and Dr. Riley, and we're here to talk about the 2024 Global Awards nomination process and the gala that will be on September 8th. Forbes Riley will be one of the amazing judges for this. And what sparked your interest in being a part of this royal gala?
Well, number one, it's going to culminate in your birthday, and I love celebrating you and your birthday. 2, I love going to Arizona. 3, I often talk about how awards are a piece of your entrepreneur asset kit, and that you must apply for awards, and there's always a fee to apply for awards. Make no mistake, it's not a free thing, which is always a little confusing to me. But when you find out that the Hollywood Walk of Fame, once those guys are nominated, they have to pay $35,000 or more now to pay for the star. So that's an important investment. But when it comes to your bio for press releases and when people read your accolades, they go, oh my God, winner of the Entrepreneur of the Year or Inspiration of the Year. This is one of those great award ceremonies. Crystal does it up right. There are a lot of different categories to apply for. It even has a youth category. And for all my people who are currently studying speaker training and getting awards and upping their entrepreneurial game, this is a great icing on the cake. I don't know if you guys all realize, recently the President of the United States issued me a Lifetime Achievement Award. I very proudly hold that up as one of the many accolades and attributes to all the hard work that I did when nobody was watching. So I'm going to give you that link. I would love my friends and family to apply or to come to the event. I will be there. Crystal will be there. And there'll be hundreds of other amazing people that you should connect and network with.
There really will be, and there's a number of stages that you'll be able to speak on during the Emerge Media experience, and that is going to be the 5th and 6th of September, and there's other things going on the 7th, but that Royal Gala, having where you can stand on the stage in this Royal Palace area is going to be amazing. So that is really great footage that you can use in a lot of different things that you're doing, and as well as the award. So can't wait to have you there. And thanks, Forbes, for being one of our judges.
You are most welcome. I love you, and I can't wait to see you guys on stage with me. So to everybody, check out the link, and let's get going.
Awesome. Thanks. Well, hey, everybody. This is Crystal Richardson. It is time for our last segment. Woohoo! So I am going to sign off here and come back on in just about 2 to 3 to 4 seconds so that we can log into our last segment. It's the same as it's been all day, where I just log off here and go on there, because we were at 2-hour segments each and every set of 2 hours for the whole day since 5 a.m. And we have a number of additional interviews to do. So I believe that there's some people texting and saying that they're already behind stage. So we will just see you in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. Just log right back in. Here we go.